What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are here to do a quick movie review on the newest DCEU film, Shazam. Or at least, are they still calling it DCEU? I'm not sure. I don't know if they're doing the whole connected universe thing anymore, but they don't need to be doing it. So this is good. Okay, this is good. They're on the right track, hopefully. So for those of you who don't know us, my name is Zach with the Indie Rundown Podcast. We're mainly a podcast, but we started branching off and doing YouTube vids where I wanted to get more into doing movie reviews, trailer breakdowns, trailer reactions. So we're trying to go that as well, and it's really nice to be able to do this because I love talking movies, and I love especially talking superhero films. So with all that being said, we're here to talk real quickly about Shazam, directed by David F. Sandberg, starring Zachary Levi, Mark Strong, Asher Angel, and Jack Dylan Grazer. Now, it's no secret that I've been very unhappy with the direction of DC in the past few years, but I'm not gonna lie, man, I really enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. Now, my complaint was always, don't try to focus so hard on building up a universe to try to compete with Marvel, because you guys went into it completely ass backwards. It started off great with Man of Steel, but then they started getting in their heads of like, oh my god, Marvel's taking off. We need to build up our characters. We need a Justice League. It's like, well, hold on, guy. We haven't done Flash. We haven't done Green Lantern. We haven't done Aquaman. We haven't done Wonder Woman. We don't even have a new Batman. But no, they wanted to overkill it and just shove everybody together. But now it seems like with Wonder Woman and then last year with Aquaman, it seems like DC's taking a step in the right direction. And like I said, man, I really enjoyed this movie. I was kind of surprised in a good way. I didn't really know too much about Shazam going in. I don't really know the character's backstory, the comics. So it was nice to get kind of a fresh take on everything, but the humor was great, man. It had a lot of really lightheartedness to it, you know, and great comedy, man. I was actually surprised how much humor was in here, but it didn't come off overbearing as me. I think it fit with the tone and feel of this environment, man. It had some really good messages too, especially about family. You know, if you really think about it, at the end of the day, when it all comes to a close, this movie really is all about family in a way. And I think it hits you very hard and makes you appreciate your family just a little bit more. For me, at least. I'm sure other people could agree with that, and other people can't. You know, hey, it's all opinion based. But CGI visuals were pretty cool. They were pretty fluid. They weren't overdone. It wasn't a mess like we've seen in other movies. I thought Aquaman was a pretty solid movie, but I thought the CGI there was just a little bit overdone. But let's talk about Zachary Levi real quick. It was pretty believable, man. Now you gotta remember, this is a dude playing a superhero with the mind of a 14-year-old kid, or 15. I can't remember how old he was, but I thought he was very believable, man. I thought he played it off very well, of having this, I wouldn't say fish out of water mentality, but more like I guess in a sense it would be fish out of water, like kid in a grown man's body. But I thought it was great, man. I thought he put it off really well. It made for a lot of laughs, dude, and it was very comedic, because it is kind of cheesy when you think about it, like a kid in a grown man's body. It reminded me a lot of Big, and I've been hearing a lot of people throw that around, like this movie reminds them of Big, and I can totally see where they're coming from. It just has that feel of, you know, the fun shenanigans and hijinks that you can have when you're in a grown man's body when you're a teenage kid. You know, it's just it's crazy, man. But yeah, Freddie Freeman was great as his best friend. I thought he was a really great centerpiece for the movie, actually. I know a lot of people might be missing that, but yeah, the acting was good all across the board, man. Especially these two, they had really good chemistry together. It's kind of like I really felt that connection. It reminded me of when I was a kid, and the connection I had with my buddies, you know, the camaraderie, the stuff we got into, the stuff we did, the fun we had. It was very believable on the screen, and I commend the filmmakers for going that route, because it worked. You know, it didn't come off as like a wooden or a fake friendship. It came off as a real life, you know, just fun kid friendship. And it also took me back to my childhood as well, when I think about, you know, being a kid, 10 years old, 13 years old, and thinking you have superpowers, and, you know, imagining what you could do and pretending that you have, you know, the ability of flight, or you can make ice or fire, you know, all these powers you thought about as a kid. So it was cool to see that portrayed on screen as a kid who really got to live out everyone's childhood dreams of having superhero powers as a kid. So I thought that was really well done, and I enjoyed it. Let's talk the villain, man. The villain was okay. You know, I didn't really have major problems with it. You know, no discredit to Mark Strong. I think he's a terrific actor. But I don't know, man. I thought the villain was a little hit or miss in parts, especially when it got to the part where it involved all the CGI, gargoyle, demons, shit, you know, all that CGI mumbo jumbo. It was just a little bit hit or miss for me. But the scenes that Mark Strong by himself was in, I really enjoyed it, man. I really liked the presence this guy brought to the screen. But it wasn't too bad, you know. I did like the fact that they gave him a nice backstory, something that a lot of superhero films have lacked over the years, of not really delving too much into the villain's backstory and just rushing him in there only to get defeated in a one-off movie. But yeah, I thought it was great, man. But I'm hoping that this could lead to an appearance of Black Adam down the road. That would be kind of cool to see him brought into the mix. So I thought Mark Strong was a good villain to start off with, at least, because Billy Batson was still finding his footing in this movie. So who knows what the future holds, but I saw today they just announced a sequel was greenlit, so you never know, man. So yeah, with all that said, I think Shazam is a really good step in the right direction. I think DC is finally getting a hold of what they want to do and the direction they want to go in. So I'm going to give Shazam a 4 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend going to see it, and yeah, let us know what you think, man. Tell us what you thought of it. Let's talk about it. Find us on the podcast, find us on here, comment down below if you come across our channel, subscribe, man. We're really trying to push out a lot more cool content, comic book related, movie related, independent film related. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts on Shazam. We're out.
Be sure to follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram @The Indie Rundown, and like our Facebook page, The Indie Rundown Podcast.